Delta sent out an email recently that talks about how to have a simpler and more rewarding Sky Miles. Here's how to access the Delta Sky Club in 2024 and 2025. And until pretty much Delta decides to change their mind because it's too crowded. I've made several of these videos on how to access the Sky Club. Whew. Delta Airlines almost made a big mistake with their new Delta Sky Club policies that are going to go into effect. Quite frankly, I'm getting tired of having to update this so often, but I wanted to make sure you all had the most up to date information. So, most of the things are staying the same for 2024, except if you have a Delta Sky Miles Platinum American Express or you have a Delta Sky Miles Platinum Business American Express. Your access to the Sky Club ends on December 31st of this year. If you can remember, they originally raised the fee of that card where you have to pay $50 to access it. So I had already begun to not use it as much, but I feel for the people who already paid the 250 renewal and are not able to access the Sky Club any longer, as well as there's some other downsides that I mentioned in the Delta Elite status changes that affect that, such as you're not able to get as many qualifying dollars with the Platinum card. Also, another change that's going into effect January 1st of next year is any American Express card holder that is traveling on basic economy cannot access the Sky Club at all. But I think some of the confusion lies in the fact that the news stated that certain card holders would only receive an allotment of visits to the Sky Club. But what's not really touched upon is that this doesn't go in effect until 2025. Starting on February 1st of 2025, if you have the reserved card, you're going to be limited to 10 visits per medallion year. If you have an American Express Platinum card or an American Express Platinum Business card, then you're going to be limited to 6 visits starting on February 1st, 2025. But what's important about 2024 is they're going to be tracking spend on those cards. So you have the opportunity, instead of having 10 or 6 visits per medallion year, you're going to have the chance to get unlimited access starting in 2026 the Sky Club if you spend 75,000 in the medallion year. So for example, if you were to, and they provide this example on their website, if you were to spend 75,000 on those qualifying cards and you met that spend by August of 2024, you would have unlimited access to the Sky Club until January 31st, 2026. So it's just like how the medallion years are, where you are basically spending for the current year to count towards your status for the remainder of the current year, the next year, and then until January 31st of that following calendar year. Another thing to note about that allotment is that it's only for the card holder. You can't share it with friends or guests. I have Priority Pass, and that I can actually use for myself and whoever I'm traveling with, a guest. I have 10 allotments per year. So if I go with a guest, each visit would count as 2. They can go pretty quickly. But in this instance, you're only able to use that allotment on the card holder. Just remember, you always need to be flying on Delta. As of now, the hours are still remaining in place. Maybe that may change, like the 3 hour rule. Maybe that may change with some of the Platinum Delta American Express not being able to access the club and the economy not being able to access the club next year. Who knows? But I will say you should always check the Delta app, because it literally has in the app the wait time of the lounges, as well as you can see if you're even able to access it. So you can scroll down and see if you're able to access it. So before you even walk over to that Sky Club, you can see if you're eligible to access it, and you can see if there's any wait time, if it's busy. And I would recommend using that app because I'm hoping Delta keeps that up to date. Delta is making so many changes. Who knows by the time this video comes around and what backlash might happen. I've seen them backtrack earlier this year where they were saying that you couldn't access the Sky Club after your flight. And they backtracked that. So there might be some changes. So that's why I say always access the app. I try to update you as much as possible, but the way Delta is moving, it's been nearly impossible. But make sure you subscribe to this channel for more travel tips and travel news. Thanks for watching.